This one is coming from Best of Redditor Updates. My 26 female husband, 28 male, is frustrated with me because he thinks I'm not feeding our babies adequately because I had to switch to formula. He refuses to help with their feeds at night. How can I find a compromise with him? So the original post is coming from Relationship Advice and was posted on April 28th, 2024. My husband and I got married about a year ago and have been together for 6 years. I became pregnant quite quickly, and I gave birth to twin girls about 4 weeks ago. Thankfully, neither of them needed to stay in the hospital for longer than normal, which is rare for twins, and I'm so happy they're healthy. They were born naturally, so I don't have the surgical wound or anything, which has made things easier. Although the whole thing was not a great experience. But once they were born, everything had seemed to be okay, except they just wouldn't breastfeed. I've tried, I really have. I've talked to all my doctors, I've done everything they said, but it just doesn't work, and it hurts as well. They both hate it, and I don't think I'm even producing enough for both of them because when they feed, they will get hungry and cry soon afterwards. I've tried absolutely everything to make it work, but it just doesn't, and they'll either refuse or I'll not have enough. I told my husband I can't do this anymore, and he said that I should talk to my doctors, but it's probably just a phase. And once they're hungry enough, they'll feed because that's what they've been doing. Also, that it's far healthier for them to be breastfed and that we shouldn't just switch because they're being picky. He does look after the babies with me and is fairly evenly split throughout the day, but I've been getting up every night to try and feed them when they're hungry, but it's just not working. Eventually, I told my doctor I was doing everything I could, but they just wouldn't feed. They checked both of the babies for things that may be affecting this, but there was nothing. So she said just to move on to formula, and that I've done the best I could do, and it is better at this point to use formula instead because then they'll be getting enough and not waking up so often in the middle of the night. I told my husband what the doctor said and that we need to switch because the babies going hungry so often could have lasting effects on them in the future, and I don't want to affect their development. He disagreed. But the babies were starting to cry again and still not wanting to feed. So I called my doctor about everything what I would need to do. I went and got those things and they actually fed. And they slept better in the night. One of them was still a little fussy, but once she had some, she was so much better and drank the whole thing. It was such a relief that I could finally sleep for a bit, and they've been far happier for the last couple of days since I switched to formula. But I wasn't feeling well, so I asked my husband if he could feed them one night so I could sleep for the night. He still has parental leave, so he doesn't have work or anything that would be affected by that. But he said that I chose to go against him without a proper conversation or agreement, and so I should be responsible for feeding them still. It upsets me that he holds something like this over me when I tried the best I could to have them breastfed. They just won't, and I've tried everything. It doesn't make any sense forcing them to go hungry when they will have formula, and they've both been much happier now. I was talking to my mother as she's going to be coming with my father to see the babies soon, and I was telling her that I was really tired. She said that she can help me once she comes to see them with the babies and their feeds at night, but I'm already so tired and sore, and I wish my husband could help me now. But he said it's a waste of money and that I should be feeding them like a normal person, and that's what I'm naturally supposed to do. It makes me feel awful because I've tried so hard to do that, but I just can't. They're his babies too, and it would help so much if he could feed them at night sometimes, even just once a week. I know other women have gone through much worse, and what I'm dealing with is not that stressful, but it's really a lot, and I just wish I could have a full night's sleep for once instead of having to awake so much. And I know I'm lucky, but it's really hard and it's becoming a bit too much. I don't know how to find any compromise with him when it comes to the feeds at night, and it's making it difficult.
So it made me mad. Does she know that she freaking married a misogynist?
Like, does he not know that this is what the doctors recommend?
Like, it seems like he thinks that women's only purpose in life is to birth children. That's what the vibe he's giving me.
And breastfeed.
This makes me so mad. He said he doesn't agree with the doctor. The doctor that went to school for fucking 15 years.
Like you breastfeed him then, bro.
Exactly. Pull out your titty. Let's see.
Bro. Like, bro, the doctor said what the doctor said. The doctor's orders, man. Like, okay, I tried breastfeeding them. They're not getting enough.
The best is he thinks that, like, the baby starving is going to be better for their development. Like, okay, yeah, maybe, like, breast milk is better for development, but if they're actually eating.
If there is breast milk.
If there is breast milk.
She's not producing enough for 2 kids.
So, you think it's better for them to starve?
Yeah.
Than to have formula? Like, are you good?
Yeah.
I didn't like this one. This was super cringe.
Top comment. OB nurse here. Your husband is unreasonable, controlling, and manipulative. He is punishing you for making a decision that actually is yours to unilaterally make because breastfeeding is your body. His input is secondary on this. They aren't his breast, his nipples being sucked on, or his mammary glands not producing enough, which is very common with twins. Formula isn't a toxic substance that poisons babies. It is a vital alternative in situations like yours. Your biggest concern here is that your husband, rather than support you in what is obviously a difficult but necessary decision, is using the situation as an opportunity to escape shared parental duties and blame you. Is he a humongous asshole in other areas of your marriage or life? Because I'm finding it hard to believe that someone this awful is a saint in other aspects. Please consider downloading a free PDF of Why Does He Do That by Lundy Bencroft and reading it while you're giving the bottles to the babies. Your husband is either temporarily insane or an emotional abuser.
Yep.
OP replies, that was what my doctor said, that I probably just aren't producing enough and that it's unlikely to change. And the babies hated it most of the time anyway. I don't know why, but they just did, and I'd rather give them formula than have them hungry. He's not normally like this in other aspects, no. I wouldn't have married him if that was the case. He hasn't acted like this before, but I think we're both really stressed at the moment, and that isn't helping at all. But
I don't care.
Yeah, bro, how hard is it to pick up the fucking bottle, man, and just feed the baby? Jesus.
This one's infuriating.
Would you like an update?
Yes.
All right.
Please tell me she left him.
6 days later. Thank you to everyone who commented on my first post. I took my daughters to my parents and have been there for almost a week now. Both of my twins seem to be doing well and they seem happy. They're 5 weeks old now. One of them is starting to try and make noises as well, which is a nice change from the crying. I took them to the doctor so they can be checked and they're both healthy and they're growing a bit better now that they're having formula. One of them is a little fussy about it but will still feed. I've finally been able to sleep properly. I'll feed them at night still, but my mother or father will feed them in the morning so I can sleep then, and sometimes I even get to sleep for 9 to 10 hours. It's so much better, and I feel like I can enjoy the babies more while they're still small when I'm not so tired. They've been enjoying sleeping outside now that they're not so hungry all the time anymore, and they don't cry as much. I do feel horrible about letting them go hungry so often when they were little, but the doctor said that they're fine now that they're getting enough with formula. I was worried about frustrating my parents with the babies, but they seem really happy with them here. And the babies don't cry very much now, so it isn't so bad. My husband is angry at me. I told him I was going with the babies to my parents, but I think he thought I meant just for a day. We've called each other a couple of times, and he's said horrible things to me, and now he wishes I was dead. But I'll deal with how he feels later when I feel better and know I can manage the babies on my own because they still need regular feeding quite frequently, and it's only achievable with my parents helping me at the moment. Holy fuck.
He's showing his true colors, and I hope she sees it.
Literally. Jeez. Divorce. Goodbye.
I've never felt more strongly about divorce than this story.
This is wild. 6 years, and then like once you have kids, it's like the truth comes out.
Literally.
I'd rather your baby starve than just feeding them the fucking bottle.
Is there anything else?
Opie just says, it is confusing that he's so upset. I know I should have told him, but I couldn't manage and he wasn't helping, so I don't know what he thought I should have done. I guess to like staying for a week with his parents.
I just hope OP sees this guy who for who he really is. Like,
Yep. Time to divorce.
that's so scary.
Literally. Eek. Eek.
Eek.
This dude makes me cringe.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Let's move on to another shitty guy.